For time not existing, I sure have none of it lately. Holy hell. How's everybody doing? We have a scale that's turned on with some dirt on it, we'll say. We have a piece of metal right here. Alright, we're gonna see what that metal weighs. It fucking broke the scale, it weighs nothing. I guess I hit tear as we were doing that. Let's see, 25.77. Now we'll hit tear again. What do you know, 25.77, that's our magic starting number. That is important to us. Why is that important? Because we need to know what kind of chemicals we need. Now, this is a little weird square right here. I don't want it to be in this little square. I want it to be a thin rectangle. So, let's make this a thin rectangle. We start with a square. We add heat. And then I'll see you guys in a minute. And that is what I needed to do with it. Doesn't have to be perfect, because what we're about to put it through, A, will make it perfect, and B is going to be a whole lot worse than what we just did. So here we go, we got that out. Let's grab some water. Now we have a piece of metal. We're going to go hit it on the wire wheel real quick, and then I'll bring it back. Alright, let's check our weight. With our shiny metal. Alright, we lost like 1/10 of a gram. Or 100th of a gram. That's fine with me. I'm okay with that. So, now, what do we need to do with this? We're going to add, whoa. Better. It's going to drop her in here like that, lay her down on the side like that, and I'll be right back. Alright, so we are out here on our heat plate. We're going to turn that bitch up. Turn her up to 210. Alright, now we have this right here. We're going to take, and our weight was only 25 grams, so we're going to only add about 35 grams or 35 milliliters of water, which is roughly 35 grams. Yeah, we'll add a little bit more. Just a cut hair more. There we go. Close enough, it's like 37. Take that, add that to our dish, flask, and now we're going to take some nitric acid. And we're going to add about 25 mils of that. There you go, just a splash here and a splash there, and when you get it on your fingers and they turn yellow, you're like, ah, shit. So, we're keeping that in mind, and we're going to fucking things. Fucking sick. There we go. Grab that bitch like that, because I don't want yellow fingers. We're going to try to grab that. Probably going to end up breaking this. Alright, so now we're just going to add that to there. Oh, shit. Alright. And as you see, we have a reaction going on. We have us a chemical fucking reaction, you see? Let's zoom it in and we'll look at that chemical reaction some more. Look at that shot, moving it in. Keeping it in front. Look at that. Now what's going on now is that piece of metal in there is dissolving into that dilute nitric acid. And I'm going to let it dissolve. And it's going to take a while, so I'll probably end up going to the candy kitchen or something like that and getting some candy, or maybe go out and get some dinner or something. But I'm just going to leave this outside doing its thing. I ain't got to risk nobody coming by, no animals climbing up on this table. So yeah, I will see you guys once we get back from doing errands. Never leave chemical reactions unattended. This is just how I have it set up for while I'm going. Just to keep any gnats out, ultimately. And as you see, that little pore lip right there acts as a perfect vent. So, I'll see you all in a little while. Alright, so we're back. It's still hot and we got metal in there, but as you see, it's not reacting anymore. So now is a good time to remember that it's hot as shit. And we're going to put another 25 milliliters of nitric acid in here, while trying not to get it on ourselves. The operative word is try. It's all you can ask yourself to do out of life, is try. But now on this one, since we've already got this up to temperature, you don't necessarily want to go dumping all that in at once, because you might get yourself a little shower of silver, and it's going to be, you're going to come out purple. It's okay. So she's going to start reacting in a second. It's only going to take it a second. And then when she reacts, there she goes. We'll let it keep on dissolving. No, this one doesn't seem to be too violent. That's good. That's good. Alright, we're back, day 2. Take the cap off. I left this shit cooking all night. As we see, there's nothing left in the bottom of our solution. Look at that. Beautiful. Alright, so now what we're going to do is take our solution, transfer it to this jar. I have no debris floating, so there's no need for me to strain it. So we'll get that in there, and then we'll take some distilled water, and we'll spray out the rest of our jar, and add that to the solution as well. See that little bit of blue right there? We're going to wash that into there. Wash that into there like that. And if you notice, I got some green down here. We're going to put that on stream. Yep. And we're just going to dissolve, not dissolve, we're just going to spray that down there like that. And dump it on the fucking ground. See, y'all thought I was going to do something with that. No. Just putting it there like that. Alright. Now we have our blue juice. Seems like in my life I like to go after the blue juice. You know, different kinds of blue juice. Some a little bit more purple than blue. This one's really blue. So what we're going to do now, I have a piece of copper. I have another piece of copper. 2 pieces of copper. I'm going to take that and sit this in our solution, and what you'll notice is a reaction start to occur, and that reaction is going to be silver crashing out. You see? It's silver. It's pure silver crashing out. So now I'm going to let this sit here for a little while, and we're going to let the silver crash out. And what is happening is, since this solution is so enriched with copper and silver, because our first block was a piece of copper, we dissolved everything up into dilute nitric, and now because the solution has copper added to it, pure copper added to it, the reaction for it to go on is to crash out the silver and put the copper from the bar into more of the solution. So when we come back, the solution will be greener and I'll have copper in here. I just turned the heat off of the stir plate, and we'll just keep letting it crash out now. So I will see you guys in a few hours. Sorry. It's been a little while. Not too terribly long though. Took the lid off. Let's see if we can. So if you notice, the silver is going up on the copper further than the copper is actually laying in there. So I ended up putting a lid on it. And what we'll do is we'll spray a little bit of distilled on that copper, and that'll wash off that silver for us nice and neatly. Alright, I'll see you guys in a while now. Alright, so we're back out at the slop table. Going to take a filter. Going to take two, not perfectly clean, but cleanish filters. We're just going to take them right there, like that. Right, then we're going to take our distilled water, make it wet like that. You sit there and you press it all around. So we can raise the camera up any higher. Nope, that's all you get. So, since that's all you get, there we go. Need room. Oof, there we go. I should clean the table, I get it. But here's where we are. Alright, first things first, we're going to come over here. We're going to open this up. We're going to grab our safety lock tweezers. Say safety lock because half the time I can't get them to fucking work right. And we're just going to sit here and we're going to spray this off. Alright, we're going to get this copper nice and clean. To do that, I'm just going to take a little scraper. Just going to knock it off like that. I want to get it back to a clean copper bar because that's all the silver off of it at that point. So I'm going to put a minute into this, and of course because I have a camera, everything is 1,000 times more difficult. Honestly, I just scratch it, and scratching it's enough to get it started. Oh man, that was actually an accident that worked out fucking perfectly. Thank you. I love when that happens. I can see it get ready to run off right there. But alright, I'm gonna leave them there. Rinse off our stir stick. Alright, there we go. Now we're going to take everything in here and just transfer it into here. Try not to spill it. There we go. We'll let that drain through. Now what we have left is silver. Not quite pure, but very pure. Not quite pure, but very pure, but this will get run through an electrolytic cell at the end of it. And then that cell will be the pure silver that we have. Alright, we're going to let that filter out. I'm going to go boil some water and then... So now, take boiling water. Add that. Stir it up. I'm also gently breaking up the clumps on the bottom. Give that a second, and this is typically where I turn my fingers color, so we shall see. The greatest camera angle of all time. You're welcome. Let me go dump that in my collection, the second part, and I'll be back in a minute. Alright, so that's what we got out of there. That's in solid cement. I got some more stuff in the filter, but I'm not worried about that stuff right now. We're going to spray this into our crucible. Battery's at 5%. The timer has started. Oh, now the headset's ringing. That was a big tree branch. Alright, I'm going to charge my phone for a minute. Actually, what I'll do is try to drain off some of that moisture. Leave everything in the crucible. Most of it's in the crucible. give that a second to solidify. Not really sure what that crud is. Alright. Go hit that up on the wire wheel and I'll be right back. Alright, so we're back. There you go. So we were able to pull 8 grams of silver out of that little square we had. I hope you learned something. The filters have another process they go through, but the problem is it's time consuming. And then you have a backup, but I guess it's a good backup to have because it's all money. I'll show you the other the bucket where I put the excess in and let it slowly crash out over time. That's right here, and ultimately that will turn really clear blue when there's nothing left in there. And yeah, when it turns clear blue, I get the silver out of the bottom, and then we take and put steel in there, and then we get the copper back. Blew that off of here. Alright, so I ended up running the filters. So that's what we got, our first one, and this is our filter. 1171. Woohoo, I'm happy. And it's at this point in time I'd like to thank you for your time. It's all we have, it does not exist. Much love. Stay chubby.